Welcome, everyone, to today's information session on the Pyramid Model Training Series for Early Childhood Leaders. This series is a training of sessions brought to you through a collaboration of the Practice Supports and Services Division and the Pre-K Division with the Department of Early Care and Learning. We are excited to bring this training to you and are going to spend some time today sharing information about this awesome opportunity. So today our focus is to talk with you about this opportunity to increase your knowledge and awareness in regards to pyramid model practices. We're going to look at research. We're going to talk about how the past few years have been for children, for teachers, and also for you as leaders. And in recognizing all of this, DECAL wanted to come up with ways to support childcare programs, teachers, and the children and families that you serve. So, thinking about the past year, do you know a teacher who works within your program who needs help with challenging behavior, who could use support setting developmentally appropriate expectations in their classroom, who has noticed that the past school year has been harder as a result of COVID? Or do you have a teacher who would like support with all the things above? If so, you're in the right place. In a response to stakeholder research conducted with the Urban Institute, one of the recommendations was to provide childcare programs with support in fostering children's social emotional growth. In response to that, DECAL piloted the Pyramid Model Training Series, and if you are on this call, you've been selected to participate in the project. So the Pyramid Model Training Series will equip early childhood providers with knowledge around the pyramid model, a framework of evidence-based practices that foster young children's healthy social emotional development. Specifically, educators will complete self-paced online modules while also attending virtual learning communities facilitated by DECAL's Inclusion and Behavior Support, Pre-K, and Infant Toddler Specialists. These modules will provide educators with strategies for building relationships and creating supportive environments, while also supporting them to teach social emotional skills and determine the meaning of challenging behavior in order to help them develop appropriate responses. The PLCs will also allow educators to dive deeper into this content with a group of their peers. The training series will occur over the course of 3 months and will contain 2 parts. The first part being the online modules. During the training series, leaders will be asked to complete 2 online self-paced modules. The Birth Through 5 e-pyramid module, which is 18 hours, and the culturally responsive practices to reduce implicit bias, disproportionality, suspension, and expulsion module, which is 2 hours. Educators will complete a portion of the modules prior to each PLC session. The second part being our professional learning communities, where leaders will attend virtual PLC sessions lasting approximately 2 hours. Each session will have up to 25 participants, and PLCs will be scheduled to meet regularly over the course of 3 months. DECAL Pre-K, Infant Toddler, and Inclusion and Behavior Support Specialists will facilitate the PLCs.
So now we're going to talk a little about the pyramid model and how it is used to promote social emotional development in young children. As Veronica mentioned earlier, the pyramid model is a framework of evidence-based practices for promoting young children's healthy social and emotional development. The pyramid model builds upon a tiered public health approach to providing universal supports to all children to promote wellness, targeted services to those who need more support, and intensive services to those who need them. At a classroom level, the pyramid model equips teachers with concrete strategies to foster children's social emotional development and decrease persistent challenge and behavior. So let's break down the pyramid tier by tier. At the base, the pyramid model is supported at the foundation by an effective workforce. This is here in the yellow area. The effective workforce is the foundation for all of the practices in the pyramid model. These are the systems and policies necessary to ensure that early childhood educators are able to use and sustain these evidence-based practices. Professional development like training and the PLC work that you'll be doing within this series are a large part of the effective workforce's foundation. The first tier of the pyramid is universal supports for all children, which is broken down into two separate levels: nurturing and responsive relationships and high quality environments. At the universal level, we include the practices needed to ensure the promotion of the social development of all children. Nurturing responsive relationships is the bottom of this tier, which is essential to healthy social development for all people, especially young children. These relationships include with teacher-child relationships, children's relationships with other children in the classroom, and the teacher-admin relationships with the families and other team members. Also, within the first tier of the universal supports are high-quality environments. We want to ensure that all children have access to inclusive early care and education environments that really promote their social emotional learning. In this level of the pyramid, there are practices like creating and teaching schedules and routines, using engaging transitions, and establishing rules and expectations that promote healthy development. The green tier focuses on prevention approaches or targeted social emotional strategies to prevent challenging behaviors or supports for children at risk of challenging behavior. A few examples of these supports are explicit instruction and practices to encourage friendship skills, using emotional literacy materials throughout the classroom and school-wide to help children understand and express emotions, self-regulate, and develop those problem-solving skills. And lastly, we have the intervention tier, which is comprised of practices related to individualized intensive interventions. This level of the pyramid model describes the need to provide interventions to the very small number of children with persistent challenging behaviors. When classroom practices and program supports are in place, the percentage of children who exhibit persistent challenging behaviors is between 1 to 5%. This tier focuses on the function of challenging behavior and approaches to address them through family-centered, data-based assessment that is focused on skill building and supporting the child's successful participation in their learning environment.
So key thing to know is that the foundation for the pyramid model really starts with our babies. If we start building this foundation with our babies, we can provide them with that socially emotional support that's going to keep them in that aqua-colored tier of the pyramid model. As you recall, this tier promotes high-quality supportive environments by evaluating how the child's environment is set up, the presence of predictable routines and visual schedules, and the use of appropriate transitions between activities. So caregivers that use this pyramid model are identifying targeted strategies to incorporate those high-quality supportive environments and provide young children with nurturing and responsive relationships. Some of these strategies can include basically supporting an infant's play by being engaged in their play, responding to cues and gestures, providing specific praise and encouragement of appropriate behavior, making sure that we have adequate materials for them, like soft materials that they need, especially around infancy, making sure that we provide a balanced schedule of routines and activities, designing engaging activities as well, and so much more that they will learn. This starts at infancy, so we want our babies to receive the same amount of support as they are approaching their toddlerhood into preschool and becoming pre-K students. Now we will learn some more about the training structure of this project. As part of the training series, educators will take 2 self-paced online modules. They will be expected to complete portions of each module prior to each PLC session. The chart on the screen details the modules, the content, and the time commitment. Since these are self-paced, they can be taken at any time that is convenient for the educator. If you want a sneak peek, the link is on the screen. We will provide those who sign the agreement with the access information several weeks prior to their first PLC session. There will be 6 professional learning communities that occur over the course of the next 3 months. Each session will last no more than 2 hours and will occur on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at the following times. Tuesdays from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m., Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and Thursdays from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. DECAL's pre-K inclusion and behavior support and infant toddler specialists will facilitate the professional learning communities. And when you complete the intent to participate form, you will have the opportunity to indicate your preferred dates and times. Administrators will receive a $250 stipend upon completion of training series. They will also receive materials and supplies that support social emotional development that are valued at $175. They will receive right from the start credit, which will be given for the PLC sessions attended and completed online trainings, which could be earned up to a total of 32 hours.
Let's take a look at the pyramid project schedule. So as you can see, we are anticipating a start date of August 2024, where we are going to conduct baseline observations. The baseline observations will be conducted in the classrooms of the participating teachers for the next round. We will get into that shortly. For September through November is when we would like to conduct the PLC sessions and the online modules for the admin. Starting in September, each program will select up to 10 teachers to participate in the same training series beginning in January. So what that means is, as you are going through the projects as an administrator, when September comes, you will have the opportunity to also select 10 teachers to participate in the training series once you finish. In October 2024, those teachers are going to be invited to complete an intent to participate to let us know if they are interested in participating beginning in January. From January to March 2025, those selected teachers will participate in the Pyramid Model Training Series. And from the times of April through May, we will complete endpoint observations on those teachers that decided to participate. Now, you may be wondering who can attend. So for the training series that we are going to begin in September, it is only open to administrators. So from the public pre-K, if you are a pre-K project director, pre-K site director, a PBIS coordinator, a special education coordinator, school principal or assistant principal at a school with Georgia Pre-K, or a curriculum coach, then you are eligible to apply. If you are working with a private childcare, if you are a pre-K project director, a pre-K site director, a center director, or assistant director, you are also eligible to apply. If you don't hold the title as a director, but you are a curriculum coach, a peer coach, or in any type of instructional support staff, we also encourage you to apply. Each district or childcare program can select up to 3 administrators. So once you take a look at the intent to participate, you can sign up all 3 administrators at the same time. So once you're thinking about selecting those leaders or administrators, think about people who have influence with the teachers, decision-making power, leaders who directly support teachers. And if they are picking a school site, then you all should think about selecting a site based on need and not on performance. Also, if you have a leader that has previously participated, they are not eligible to participate at this time. Let's take a deeper dive into the program responsibilities. So what are we expecting from you? The first thing is going to be participation. This training series is not a sit and get. It is more so of a collaboration between different administrators and a facilitator facilitating the training sessions. We are expecting you all to be fully participating in the training series by completing the online modules when they are due, and also engaging in the virtual professional learning communities. We would like for your cameras to be on, for you not to be supervising children, driving, or responsible for any other task at that time. Full participation is required. We will also be conducting observations, but we're going to get into that and the details on the next slide. Feedback and evaluation is also required. So as a part of this pilot, DCAL is partnering with an external evaluator. The name of that organization is Child Trends. And Child Trends' objective is to gather feedback about the training series. So you all will have the opportunity to provide feedback on the design and model of the training series through both focus groups and surveys. So if you do decide to participate, you will receive a pre and post survey from Child Trends, and you may be invited to participate in a focus group as well. Okay, observations. So for the observations, you do not have to worry about an observation being conducted on you as an administrator. We will be conducting observations on the teachers that you would want to recommend to complete the Pyramid Model Training Series in the spring. So we want you to kind of be thinking about now as you're going through the process of who you have an idea that you may want to send in the spring. So those observations for the classrooms will begin in early November, and then they will do an endpoint in late April. They are going to be conducted by our infant, toddler, and inclusion and behavior support specialists, and they are going to use Tippy Toes, observation tool, and Teapot, just depending on the age of the children in those classrooms. And also with the teachers, if they previously participated in this training series, they also will not be eligible to participate in the spring. Okay, let's take a look at the next steps. So what we need for you all to do next, if you are interested in participating in the Pyramid Model Training Series, is to complete the intent to participate form no later than August 15th. You receive the link to that survey within this email. DCAL will then assign your program to a PLC. Additional information will be sent out about accessing the online modules and attending the PLC. You will receive an email from your facilitator with next steps. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us at pssinfo@dcal.georgia.gov. Have a great day.